My dear teachers, good morning. Please settle down. We're about to begin the second day of our in-service training. But before anything else, your full cooperation is needed in completing this seminar, and we have some reminders. Kindly put your mobile phone in silent mode to avoid interruption, especially just as soon as our ICT room. Since we have a new 7 COVID positive cases yesterday, please avoid talking with your seatmates because the more you talk, the more chances you contact COVID. Also, do not remove your face mask all the time and make sure you have safe distance from one another. Again, good day and welcome to second day of our mid-year in-service training. May I request everyone to join in the singing of the Kinang Lahi to be followed by a prayer by Miss Nelfea Hilario.
Dakilang lahi, nasa iyong tangi, pag-ibig ko, inang bayan. Isinumpa ko, o Pilipino, gagaling ang sugat ng iyong nakaraan. Nang pahiran ko, luha ng iyong puso ay natayo, muli ang karangalan mo. O ang pag-ibig ko'y sa'yo, inang bayan. Ikaw ang siyang dalangin ko sa Diyos kailan pa man. Kuminang ng iyong bituin at sumikat ng araw. Ang kalayaan mo'y sinisigaw. Ang bukas ay tanging sa'yo nakalaan. Kayo mangki ang kulay mo, dugo't pawis hinanay mo, di ka na maapi. Ngayon o kailanman, pag-ibig ko'y sa'yo, inang bayan. Dakilang bayan, kapayapaan, iyo'y muli nang nakamtan. Tulad nung araw, bago inagaw, ang kayamanan mo, ang iyong kalayaan. Nang pahiran ko, luha ng iyong puso ay natayo, muli ang karangalan mo. O ang pag-ibig ko'y sa'yo, inang bayan. Ikaw ang siyang dalangin ko sa Diyos kailan pa man. Kuminang ng iyong bituin Pag-ibig ko'y sa'yo, inang bayan.
Let's bow our heads and place ourselves in the presence of the Lord. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Father God, today we're gathered here for the first day of our school-based mid-year virtual in-service training for teachers. We're grateful for all the blessings you have bestowed on us. Grant us your grace and divine wisdom. Enlighten our minds to come up with ideas that would be for the benefit of everyone. Bless our speakers for today as they will share their wisdom and expertise. Bless our community that every member would do their best to contribute towards education of our youth. May we all realize that through you, we can all triumph and be living examples of your generous love. We know that without you, nothing would be possible. We pray that you would be blessed our efforts with success. Today, we give you our hearts, our minds, and our lives. Come speak with your words of life into our beings. We pray that you would deepen our comprehension, broaden our thinking, and transform our understanding from what we will learn from our speakers. For you are our wise counselor, our perfect teacher, and our faithful friend. May we invoke your divine spirit to bless our school. All this we ask and pray in the name of your only Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
May I call on Mrs. Janita Montermoso to do the recap of our yesterday's activity, and after that, to make our mood even better, let us feed our souls and get energized by a thought to be shared to us by Mrs. Michelle Eduarte. A pleasant morning to all. My task today is to give the recap of yesterday's INSET. In-service training for teachers, or INSET, can be defined as a variety of activities and practices in which teachers become involved in order to enrich their knowledge, improve their skill in teaching, and also enable them to become more efficient on their job. The first day of virtual mid-year INSET started with the national anthem through audiovisual presentation, followed by a prayer led by Mrs. Janelen Saliedo. After the prayer, Mr. Edmond Mirasol, our school's district supervisor, welcomed everyone through his opening remarks. Sir Mirasol stressed out the objectives and importance of the INSET in this time of pandemic. To start the day with a positive mindset, Mrs. Julia Himpasao shared to us the thought of the day. The introduction of the resource speakers of the morning session was followed and given by Mrs. Maria Elena Slabra. To meet the objectives of the inset, the set of resource speakers of the day's activities focused their discussions on how to enhance our skills in preparing and making the performance tasks and written activities in different subjects. The first speaker was Mrs. Daphne Major Sesto, who is our district English coordinator. She discussed the topic on intensifying teacher skills and abilities in making performance tasks and written activities in English. According to her, summative tests and performance tasks should be given to the learners with clear directions and rubrics for them to know what to do. Before the next speaker delivered her topic, Kabasi Santa Rosa Integrated School teachers presented a video dance presentation to unfreeze and energize the participants. After this presentation, Mrs. Jeneline Tagaygayan, the district math coordinator, discussed thoroughly her topic on enhancing teachers' knowledge in making performance tasks and written work activities in mathematics. She ended her discussion at 11:30 in the morning and was declared a lunch break for everyone. The afternoon session was started by Mrs. Leah Garde, who introduced the three resource speakers. The first speaker was Mrs. Jessica Higantoka, Teacher 3 and our district science coordinator. She comprehensively delivered her topic on improving the creativity in making performance tasks and written work activities in science. She emphasized that performance tasks given to the learner should be integrated or can be used in other learning areas. She also presented a video showing an example on how the learner performs the activity in science. The next resource speaker was Mrs. Mary Ann Tagaysay, Teacher 2 of Icocolo Elementary School, who discussed the topic on how to strengthen teachers' capabilities in making performance tasks and written work activities in Filipino. According to her, learners must be given flexibility in the accomplishment of their performance tasks to consider time and resources available to them. To complete the topics assigned for the day, the last speaker was Mrs. Perla Vianilo, Teacher 3 and Grade 3 SAC Advisor of Gimbal Central Elementary School. She discussed thoroughly her topic on how to upgrade teachers' competencies in making performance tasks and written work activities in Araling Panlipunan. She also discussed how to make a table of specification applying the Bloom's taxonomy method. The first day of virtual media inset ended at 3:45 in the afternoon. That's all. Thank you very much and God bless us all.
A new day begins with new thought, new strength, and endless possibilities. So, to enlighten us and brighten our morning, I would like to share with you this video presentation, requesting everybody to watch and internalize its message.
What's stopping you? Are you too tired? Didn't get enough sleep? Don't have enough energy? Don't have enough time? Is that what's stopping you right now? Don't have enough money? Is that the thing? Or is the thing that's stopping you, you?
Excuses sound best to the person that's making them up. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Get off the pity potty. Telling everybody your sad and sob stories, trying to get people to show up to your pity potties and your pity parades. If you ever see me in a Rolls Royce, a 6 or 7-star hotel, living my life to the fullest, don't get jealous of me, because I worked my ass off to get it. Nobody handed me nothing. Wake your ass up. Awaken the beast inside. It's game on. It's go season. It's time for you to take advantage of the access and the resources that you have in your country and your community. You got a problem with your life. You got a problem with your environment. Do something about it. If you want it, go get it.
Recognize the excuses are not valid. They're conjured up, they're fabricated, they're lies. And how do you stop the lies? You stop the lies with the truth. And the truth is, you have time. You have the skill, you have the knowledge and the support and the willpower and the discipline to get it done.
The fruit of everything good in life begins with a challenge. Everything is uphill that's worthwhile. And it's not going to come to you, and it's not going to fall in your lap, and it's not going to be something that, oh my God, it just was so simple. It's always going to be difficult.
If you want it, you gotta go get it.
This is your chance. This is your shot. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your place. This is your opportunity.
This is my time. This is my moment. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Ain't no such thing as tomorrow. We only got today. It's your dream. If you want to have it, get your butt up and make it happen. If you want to have it, rise and grind.
You still got work to do. Stay on that basketball court. Stay on that football field. It's grind season, homie.
Thank you, teachers. For our new learning for today, Mrs. Geraldine Panayao will introduce to us our today's speaker.
According to AFPER, in-service training includes all those activities which are designed for professional development and skill building of school teachers. It is essential for professional improvement of teachers and keep the teacher abreast of latest information. In order to enhance the effectiveness and productivity of teacher education system, high caliber teachers were chosen as the speakers to share their expertise, ideas, knowledge, wisdom for today's Mid-Year Inset. Good morning, everyone. Our first speaker is a very simple person who has this principle in life: say positive. Share what you have in any way you can. You only live once. Be remembered of what you did to mankind, the goodness and kindness you possess, but not of tangible things that puts you in a pedestal. For this rotten and easily forgotten, but the legacy and advocacy would live by. She had been teaching in West Visayas State University Elementary Laboratory School at SEFDEC, which is now Kinaadman Elementary School, for 16 years. This is already her 10th year at Gimbal Central Elementary School. She is the advisor of Grade 4 Special Science Elementary School pupils, teaching Araling Panlipunan Grade 4, Grade 5, and Grade 6. She is the school Araling Panlipunan coordinator, a school paper advisor, and a SPG school and district advisor. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mrs. Mariasol Hinona to talk with us about initiating skills and strategies in implementing distance learning delivery modality.
Good morning. So this time I'm going to talk about initiating skills and strategies in implementing distance learning delivery modality. So remember that learning takes place whether you're 21 or 80. As long as you're living, you're always learning. So we have here, what is the power of learning? Learning power refers to the collection of psychological traits and skills that enable a person to engage effectively with a variety of learning challenges. So as of now, we are in a pandemic and there are a lot of changes, especially in the learning of our children and at the same time to educators like us. So that is the reason why we have the distance learning, or we have the different modalities in delivery of learning as of now as being reflected in our school learning continuity plan. So what is distance learning? Distance learning refers to a learning delivery modality where learning takes place between the teacher and the learners who are geographically remote from each other during instruction. So distance learning may actually refer to uh, being, uh, you are, what's this? You're giving instruction while online using different platforms. And because of this pandemic, we are obliged to have our school learning continuity plan, which reflect what our school should adopt in order to continue education. As what our Secretary of Education uh, stated, that learning must continue in spite and despite of this pandemic. So that is why we have this distance learning matrix. As we have already learned, and it was given few months ago before we start our classes for this school year about the different distance delivery modality. And so I am going again to uh, give it to you this time together with our roles as teacher and also the role of the parents. Okay, so we have the distance learning matrix. So we have here the distance learning modality, the distinguishing feature, the essential resources, the role of teacher, role of parent or household member, and the role of the school as a whole. So first we have the modular distance learning. So, what is the distinguishing feature of MDL? So, printed materials or modules were adapted to the condition of the program used and provide quality education that responds to the call for education who prefer traditional way of teaching of learning. So the resources, we have the self-learning modules, the learning activity sheets, and of course the textbooks. And our role as teachers, of course, we do the packing of modules and the learning activity sheets to be distributed to parents. Or in others, they deliver the modules. Then we provide weekly home learning plan and attend to learners' queries on topics through text or phone calls, gather modules, and of course, checking the modules. And then what is the role of the parents or any household member as para teachers? Guide and assist their children education at home. Return modules to assigned person. Contact teachers if needed. And then the role of the school, of course, is to provide modules for learners. So we were given uh, things to be used for the module printing. But sad to say, as we have already, this is already our fifth month, no, of having a modular distance learning, because that was the result in the survey that we don't prefer any other kind of distance learning modality, but we stick with this modular distance learning because we know that this is the safest mode of learning. But unfortunately, there are some of learning facilitators out there, especially first and foremost the parents who are no, and then but we cannot judge them that they don't give importance to the modules were given to them. But as teachers, we do always do our share of communicating with them, no, in any way we can to follow up everything about and how or whether the children or their child really perform or answer the activities in the module. So first and foremost, it's the role of the parents. But there are a lot of things that we found out lately. So one parent had told me her twins are in grade 2, and so there are items in the module that they don't take what's this they don't take concern because for her the wala bala do hindi pa naman ang kabataan, so whatever present in the module nga naman ang kabataan, that's the only one nga gina-answeran nanda. Well, amurang andata na nga diretso, no? But for us, the teachers, we really wanted that everything given to them, if possible, should be answered. So we have lot of problems actually encountered in this kind, no? In modular distance learning. And there are other parents telling that when saan upa kita ka face to face? Well, as long as we are not yet safe, we cannot do that. We cannot have face-to-face instruction. Okay, so that is the modular distance learning, and this one entails a lot of funds, a lot of effort, a lot of energy for all of us. Not only for you, not only for me, but for all of us, even the parents and even the pupils. No, okay, the burden of answering. But what we could do is let's adjust for this moment because we know that this will pass. This will not be forever actually. Okay, next one is the online distance learning or the ODL. The feature involved in-person interaction between teacher and learners in which the main elements include separation of teachers and students during instruction and use of various technologies to facilitate student-teacher and student-student communications. Resources, we have the LAS or the learning activity sheets, textbooks, PowerPoint presentation made by teachers, and teachers' improvised video lesson or presentation. So what is the role of a teacher? Provide weekly home learning plan, provide PowerPoint presentation, provide self-made video lesson presentation, check learners' output through e-learning, attend to parents and learners' queries on hard topics through phone calls, text, or messages. Then parents should guide, assist, monitor, and help their children on their online class. Contact teachers if needed. And school is to monitor teachers and learners' interaction via online learning. But unfortunately, we don't have this because according to our survey, only a few of our pupils and uh, not all of them could afford this kind of distance learning modality. But as we go along, no, we have heard a lot of news. There are a lot of things that happened because of this ODL, especially in college students, which are some of them doesn't have that signal, doesn't have the gadgets, and as you have observed, there are a lot also of people, generous people who are ready to give. No, as mentioned, we have this Heart Evangelista and also in Wawawin. No, they are giving tablet in order to help students in their online distance learning. And sad to say also that there are students that find it very stressful, and even some committed suicide where, well, they were not really guided by their parents actually, and they really find it hard for them, very difficult for them to have this. So important gid ang paggiya ng parents, no? So dapat dyan gid always ang parents. So another, we have the TV-based instruction or the TVBI. So feature concise, detailed, and precise presentation of the T learning. So essential resources, smart TV, television with cable connection, textbooks, learning activity sheets. Then role of teacher is to provide weekly home learning plan, provide learning activity sheets, attend to parents and learners' queries on hard topics through phone calls, text or messages, and check learners' output. And the role of parent is to guide, assist, monitor, and help their children. Role of school is to provide learning videos and activities through TV-based learning. So we have this because we have some of our co-teachers here who are involved in this TVBI, no? Okay, hopefully we have this, but at this time, in our place, we cannot have it yet. Maybe in the future, no? Okay, so another one is the radio-based instruction or the RBI, a form of distant learning that able to expand access to education by bringing it to where the learners are and enable them to acquire equivalency in basic education through broadcast of lessons. So the resources are radio, textbooks, learning activity sheets. And our role as teachers provide weekly home learning plan, provide learning activity sheets, attend to parents or learners' queries on tough topics through text or phone calls, and of course to check learners' output. And the parents' role is to guide, assist, monitor, and help their children or contact teachers if needed. And role of school is to provide learning activities through audio. No, but unfortunately, we don't have it yet because we don't have the radio station here in our locality. No, but actually we have no because this second quarter, especially sa Filipino subject, there is already nakastart ron. Okay, then we have the blended distance learning. So distinguishing feature, we have increased student engagement in learning, enhanced teacher and student interaction, and responsibility of learning, improved student learning outcomes. Self-learning modules, sheets, learning activity sheets, PowerPoint presentation made by teachers, improvised video lesson presentation, textbooks are the essential resources. And our role is, of course, we have the self-learning modules, learning activity sheets, PowerPoint presentation made by teachers, then teachers improvise video lesson presentation or textbook. Role of parent, of course, the same thing, guide, assist, monitor, and help their children, contact teachers if needed. Role of school, provide modules for learners, monitor teachers and learners' interaction via online learning. So in blended distance learning, we have this a combination of maybe modular and at the same time online. Now, in some private schools, they're doing this. They have the online learning, and at the same time, they have days that they have to give out modules. No, okay. Okay. So that's all. So let us all remember that the parents and the teachers, but for now, parents really play an important role no, in helping children to learn something. So we are all encouraging our parents. So let us be open to them. Let us communicate with them in whatever queries they have. Sa mga paramangkot lang. Sa nagapamangkot. May chan nga. Isan is na kayong chindi ah. May answer key. So wala gid problema. Pamangkot-mangkot. Okay, so that is my topic for this morning. Thank you for sharing your precious time with me. Stay safe and God bless everyone.
The next speaker we have is a teacher to Gimbal Central Elementary School and presently an advisor of Grade 2 Special Science in Elementary School pupils. Everyone, let us welcome Mrs. Romela G. Mateo to share with us on review and check the modules based on the map.
If we want to reach real peace in this world, we should start educating children. Good morning, fellow teachers. My topic for today is to review and check the modules based on most essential learning competencies or MELCs. I got my example in our modules and MELCs for the first quarter. So I checked our modules and compared it to the MELCs. I found out that some other MELCs are congruent to the modules and some other MELCs are not. They were unpacked competencies. When we say unpacked competencies, some MELCs are dropped, removed, or merged. Here are the example checklists of comparing the modules and the MELCs. So sample checklist in English 2. Module 1. Classify sounds heard. In MELC, classify, categorize sounds heard as animals, mechanical, objects, musical instruments, environment, and speech. So as you can see, Module 1 are congruent to MELCs. In Module 2, reading the English alphabet and associating it to phonemes. In MELC, reading the English alphabet and associating it to phonemes. So they are also congruent or retained. Same with Module 3, recognizing proper and common nouns. So Module 3 and the MELCs are congruent. And Module 4, recognizing the use of a and an plus noun in simple sentences, lesson 2. In MELC, recognizing the use of a and an plus nouns in simple sentences, lesson 2 is also congruent. And same with Module 5, identifying the English equivalent of words in the mother tongue or in Filipino. So they are also congruent. But some MELCs are dropped. Here are MELCs that are dropped. Beginning letter of the name of each picture, it is dropped in the MELCs. Recognize common action words in retelling, conversation, and etc. Identifying and discuss the elements of a story, just like give the theme, setting, characters, and events, they are also dropped and found in second grading of the MELC. And now, here is another example in checklist in Mathematics 2. Module 1 visualizes and represents numbers from 0 to 1000 with emphasis on numbers 101 to 500
using a variety of materials. Visualizes and represents number from 0 to 1000 with emphasis on numbers 501 to 1000 using a variety of materials, and gives the place value and finds the value of a digit in three-digit numbers. So same and MELC. So as you can see, module 1 and the MELCs that is intended for week 1, so they are congruent. In module 2, visualizes and counts number by tens, fifties, and hundreds, and reads and writes numbers up to 1000 and symbols in words. Also in MELC, visualizes and counts numbers by tens, fifties, and hundreds, and reads and writes numbers up to 1000 and symbols in words. That is intended for week 2, so they are also congruent. Same with Module 3, visualizes and writes three-digit numbers in expanded form and compares numbers up to 1000 using relation symbols and orders numbers up to 1000 in increasing or decreasing. So Module 3 and the MELC is intended for week 3, so they are congruent. Same with Module 4. So Module 4 and the MELCs are intended for week 4, so they are also congruent. Week 5 and the MELCs and intended for week 5, so they are also congruent. Week 6 and the MELCs for week 6, intended for week 6, it is also congruent. And Module 7 adds mentally 1 to 2-digit numbers with sum up to 50 using appropriate strategies is also found in MELCs. Adds mentally 3-digit numbers and tens, multiples of 10 up to 90 using appropriate strategies is also found in MELC. So Module 7 and the MELC intended for week 7 is also congruent. Module 8 adds mentally 3-digit numbers and hundreds, multiples of 100 up to 900 using appropriate strategies is also intended for week 8, so it is congruent. While solved non-routine problems involving addition of whole numbers in including money with sum up to 1000 using appropriate problem-solving strategies and tools, it is intended for week 9, but it was merged and found in week 8. So that's all about my topic this morning. By the way, for your output, this is for per grade level. So what to do? You are going to make a checklist of your modules and MELCs. So like this one. So you are going to compare the modules of second quarter and the MELC. And then after that, you are going to pass it on me. So once again, thank you very much. Keep safe and God bless us all.
Thank you, teachers, Mrs. Sinona, Mrs. Mateo. Thank you very much. And for this time, let us all join with the kinder and SPED teachers for our unfreezing activity before we proceed with our last resource speaker this morning. Thank you, SPED and kinder teachers. Kung ni scheme na freeze gid kuno kami. Now we will proceed now. Ma'am Geraldine Tipanayaw will introduce to us our last resource speaker.
Our last speaker is a Master Teacher 1, teaching grade 1 for 24 years. She is our district research coordinator. There are lots to tell about her, but I just chosen some few things that speak about her. For she wanted to have this introduction simple and brief. Everyone, let's give her a round of applause to our speaker, Mrs. Cynthia Garucho Ceballos, to tell us about strengthening skills and knowledge in conducting action research in the new modality.
Good morning, fellow teachers and researchers. Attention to those teacher 3 who desires to be promoted to master teacher 1. You will need this. To start with, um, the first topic about research is how to write. Let's start first. We'd like to share these insights. Okay, how to write a research proposal. Let's navigate through the step-by-step process of writing a research proposal. First, look for potential resources of problems. Explore and reflect on the current conditions in your respective local conditions. Number one is problems or difficulties or challenges encountered to ensure continuity of learning in the new normal. So, sa tulad, we will be focusing on the problem about pandemic, no? So, completely ang atin topic nga ipilian natin is new normal gid nga topic, no? I-disregard ta anay ang mga previous natin nga mga topics. Okay, next. Here are the suggested research priority topics. So lain-lain dyan, no? In the learner's safety, these are the suggested topics nga himuan natin kang title. Number one is what approaches should be adopted to ensure the safety and protection of learners in the new normal. Number two, how do learners respond in the use of self-protection gears? So kung gusto nyo dyan nga amo dyan nga topic, then you have to make a problem out of these two suggested topics. Next, in the case of learners' behavior and performance in the new normal, what are the effects of the pandemic to the behavior of the learners? So, common natin yung problem, no? Hindi lang sa grade 1 guro, but nationwide gid siguro ang behavior of the learners. But because na-notice natin nga lain ang approach kang parents and the teachers, no? Sa parents ta na may mga kusi-kusi pa, may paayon, but sa school setting lain ang ang attitude kang kabataan. So I think diya makabulig diya in making research, no? The effects kuno of pandemic to the behavior of the learners. Next is under the learner's behavior and performance in the new normal. So amo yung mga possible topics. What are the effects of the new learning and modalities to the academic performance of the learners? So ang performance kang learners sa balay would really affect their academic, no? So example, kung ang bata tamad, definitely ang performance na sa pag-answer kang module will also be affected. Paano na ansiran ang anang module kung may pagkatamad ang tana, no? So, to address this, researcher, pwede nyo dyan magamit as your topic. How do learners behave in a different health and safety guidelines? In the area of learning materials development, what are the different learning materials developed? So we have the self-learning module, na? What are the quality assurance processes of the developed learning materials and challenges encountered? So ano ang assurance kang module natin nga gina-distribute sa kabataan? Is it effective or panandalian lang gid nga ang panandalian ng gid balang teaching sa kabataan kay of course lain gid na kun ang present kang teacher is inside the classroom, no? What are the learning materials or kit needed by learners during remote or distant learning? So as prescribed by the DepEd, amo diyang atin nga module, no? But module is not enough, no? So this will be a problem also, no? One of the problems nga ma-encounter kang atin kang DepEd. So to address this, pwede paghimuan kang title, no, for a research proposal. What are the supplementary materials needed to enrich learning using the new modalities? Except for modules natin, ano pagid ang mga supplementary materials? Example, ang atin ng mga remediation worksheet, no? Sa grade 1, we are doing that remediation worksheet, no? Added materials nga supplement natin sa aside from module nga ginatugro natin every week. And in the area of learning issues and gaps, mura man siya ang pwede natin himuan kang problem. What are the prevailing learning problems under the new normal? What are the learning gaps that existed due to the transitioning of the new learning modalities? No? So may gap gid, no? May problem gid nga nag-arise. What are the recommended intervention on the learning issues and gaps due to transitions? So kanami dyan nga topic, no, nga ano nga mahimuan natin kang research, ano ang mga intervention, possible intervention nga matugro natin para ma-solve yung mga issues and gaps kadya sa kabataan natin during the transition. How are practical skills being taught in the normal? How effective are the virtual classes in the acquisition of lifelong skills? So virtual, usually this is addressed to the private school, no? They are doing this ang virtual classes, no? Sa atin sa public, we cannot do it because siguro may dyan man gin nga teachers nga nag-initiate, but sa virtual siguro sa public daw hindi siguro akon oftentimes magamit because of internet connection nga ang nanay gani ora cellphone na virtual ka pa, no? So siguro for those learners nga maka-afford kang virtual, they can have it with their advisors, pero amula na limited lang garing, no? How are the basic literacy skills being taught in the new normal? So kabudlay giman, no, sa new normal, it's normal pero ang aton nga pag-accept is daw hindi gid normal, no? So paano naton ma-deliver ang mga basic literacy skills kadya because ang present kang kita nga teachers is absent sa atin nga kabataan, no? Only the parents. So good thing kung ang parents is also a teacher or may idea bala kung paano nandatudluan. So as may naman-an gani ako nga parent nga hindi man ta nakamaan magtudlo sa kabataan na kay hindi ta na ura ta na nakatapos. So kabudlay gid man, no? How effective are the remediation programs to learners with learning difficulties, no? Sa grade 1, despite nga may mga remediation kami nga worksheet nga ginapadara, but still this is not a gauge for us to know nga really sandagi man ang naga-answer, no? Okay, so pero still maman-an magyapon natin kay sa agi pa lang kang kabataan, man-an maging nga nanay ang naga-answer, no? So it's not reliable. How does the new learning strategies facilitate the acquisition of socio-emotional skills of primary learners? Next is in the area of co-curricular activities. So the hindi gigawa dya ano gid man, no? What are the appropriate co-curricular activities and the new normal and how it will be conducted? So do burubudlay gawa dya isulbaron nga problem. And next is the classroom management. How will the teacher be able to manage online classes? So again, this is addressed sa mga private schools nga they are having online classes, no? Not so much with the public school. How will the teacher ensure the attendance and full attention of the learners during online learning? What are the challenges encountered by teachers in managing behavior of learners during distant learning? So letter G, in the area of online safety guidance, these are the possible topics. What are the guidelines provided to regulate learners' uncontrolled exploration of various online links during class hours? How can the school ensure the safety of the learners during online learning? How can learners and parents regulate learners in the browsing of abusive websites? What are the guidelines or policies needed to regulate online media access among learners? In the area of cyberbullying, how can be cyberbullying prevented in the new learning modalities? Siguro kadya ang mga bullying, siguro kadya sa during learning modality siguro pwede man siguro nga like for example abi ang module na ura na answeran di ta nakamaan so ginbully ta na so pwede man nga mangin problem no sa learners naton so pwede natin mahimuan ja kang kang research. What are the characteristics of learners during the online learning? Bo kanako gikang characteristics no of the learners nga ma-cite natin na. Okay, so those are the um, possible suggested research priority topics. So if you are a researcher, you can choose from among these topics, no? Kaya kanami man kang iban nga topics. Only just like 2 weeks ago, kami nga master teacher, tuguan kami kang 2 weeks time to make our research proposal nga 2 weeks time siguro daw hindi gid kaya no but thank you Lord nga na those all master teachers were able to submit their research proposal. So congratulations kids sa atin nga no. So ang mga incoming master teacher 3 take note ha kay kamo ang next nga mahimo kadya together with us. Where to find problems in making research proposal? Think of what best intervention to try out to address or meet such problems or meet such challenges. So kinahanglan may intervention kita kay na ang mga suggested ng mga problems nga nag-arise during new normal amoron to kay na yung present ko. So this time manumdum kita kang intervention. Ano ang himuon natin as a teacher to address those problems no nga mentioned a while ago. So number 1, use of self-learning materials. Do you think nga ang SLM could be the effective intervention in addressing those problems? Number 2 is alternative learning delivery modalities. Do you think the television-based instruction could address the problem, or radio-based instruction, or blended learning, or online learning? Next is the parents' role in the students' learning. So I think ang parents' role is the most effective pagid sa tulad ng new normal, no? Ang dagid role kadya ang enhance natin, no? And of course with the help of the teachers in pushing parents, no, nga kahit papano kita nga teachers with is contributing man kita sa we can also contribute sa role kang parents natin, no, nga kahit paano bala ang mga of course ang parents man natin they are busy every day, no, nga sa pangarubuyan pa lang nanda hindi rin nanda ma-address ang pagtudlo sa kabataan, no. So kahit paano kita nga teachers may role man kita hindi lang nga kay ang more ang parents pero sa pag-udyok man sa parents bala, no. So I think amo lang the best role natin nga ma-contribute natin sa parents. Problems encountered in MELCs or pwede man siya ang MELCs, no, nga maka-address sa problem. Next is making an action research title. So kaina kwan pa lang to ang preliminary pa lang to sa title, no? Okay. How to make an action research title. So natuguan kita kang kang mga possible nga problem nga mahimuan natin kang title. Now, a title should be attractive to the reader. Especially ang mga naga-critic kadya kang atin nga research proposal kung mabasahan kang mga sa division, no. Clear and simple, ideally 12 to 20 words lang gid. And the topic, the intervention. So sa 12 to 20 words, diyan na masilid ang topic, intervention, or ang asterisk dyan is optional, na participants in general. Can use punctuation, arranged in inverted pyramid, written in uppercase letters, capital letters gitanan. And later I will show you how to make the kung paano ibalay ang title, no? And researchable, meaning before making your title, dapat may ready ron ikaw nga related literature. Kay kunura ti related literature, how can you cite a study nga really ang imo kari ang nga intervention nga gingamit is already is already conducted by a person or a writer, no, or an author. Not preemptive or bias. Avoid kuno using terms such as improving, increasing, enhancing. So previously, no, ang traditional natin nga research is may gid do, ang ginagamit natin is ang mga terms kadyo is improving, increasing, enhancing. But now, as much as possible, avoid these three words kuno in making a title. Avoid commonly proven intervention. Ibig sabihin nga may mga common intervention nun nga keeps on repeatedly used by the researcher. Example, ang scaffolding, no? Peer tutoring, or ano pa gid ang mga common nga mga intervention. So as much as possible, let's avoid that. No, kung baga pwede nga something new raman, no? Avoid including in the title if possible grade levels. Hindi pagbutangan kang grade levels, sections, name of school, or acronyms. Acronyms like, for example, SLM na self-learning module. So kung pwede pa lang wala lang ti acronyms, no, ang atin nga igamitan. So clear kita sa action research title, ha, for those master teachers kag ang teacher 3 incoming master teacher 1. Okay. So nami gidaad kadya kung district ano para sarana lang ka paslak. Okay, next is formatting your research proposal title. Now, amo diyang inamin ko kaina. Okay. Sa babaw, activity-based learning approach, this is a research proposal of Ma'am Nemia Alerta. And have you noticed nga ang sa babaw is all caps na? Amori Pwede ako magamit kang paano ko sir magamit ang ano ba ito? Ang okay. Sa digya, amo dyan ang title natin, no? Okay, so it should be printed in uppercase or capital letter, all caps, no? So have you noticed, I had mentioned a while ago, it's pwede natin pyramid, no? Pyramid, amo dyan ay. And then from here up to here, it should be 5 double spaces, or you can use 10 single spaces, no? Okay. Now, when writing this one, an action research proposal presented to the school's division research committee, it should be typed as uppercase and lowercase mixed. And from here, down from here, again, 5 double spaces and 10 single spaces. And the name of the researcher should be uppercase, no? Uppercase tanan. Okay, so amo ria ang front natin nga first page, na? Okay, and this will serve as the page 1 of your research. Next, let's go to the parts of an action research proposal. So rako diyan na. Okay, context and rationale. action research questions. Amo dya ang tanan ngay moon natin in order to come up for a research proposal. Number 3 is propose innovation, intervention, and strategy. Action research methods. Under the action research methods is the participants and or other resources of data. Data gathering methods, ethical issues, data analysis plan. And action research work plan and timeline, cost estimates, plan for dissemination and advocacy, references, and appendices. O I know na nagalingin ang ulo kung iban, lantaw pa lang, no? But, apos lang dya kung every year makahimo kita kang atin nga research proposal. Ang mga master teacher, kadya ginamani-mani na lang nanda dya. Okay, parts and components of research proposal. Number 1, atong kaina, context and rationale. Or rationale, or how do you pronounce it? It's rationale. Dapat ang ating context of rationale should provide an overview of the problem situation that the study aims to address. It includes desired condition and discrepancy between situation, explains the nature, extent, and salience of the identified problem or issue. Nature, ano ra ang nature? Characterize the problem. Is the problem new or old but persisting? Daan rin pero nagabalik-balik. Or long ignored. Buhay rin nga problem, garing gid-ignore lang, wala na natuguan solusyon. Or it could be nga ang problem requires urgent attention. Okay. Now, ang sample natin is ang tulad, no? Urgent attention, yun ang pandemic, no? Disturbing or combination of all. Extent. Ano ang ana nga extent? Extent means, ano ria classroom-wide? Sa classroom lang nga problem? Grade level? Sorry, ginang ako ng mouse. Grade level wide or school wide or pwede district wide, no? Okay, so i-cite mo ra digyan ano gid ang problema kadya. So siguro sa atin tulad nga new normal, I think ang atin nga extent here is district wide or nationwide. Kay tanan giman nga problema ang mga maestra, no? Okay, salience, manifestation of the problem. Why did you come up with this problem? What is your purpose? Naga nga ano. So naga nga ang researcher himuan mo gid kang research kay amo gid ang pinaka-common nga problem. Okay, next is again ang context and rationale should be data driven and evidence based provides more detail on authentic local or school district specific statistics. So, ikwan mo na dyan, ibalay mo na dyan. Okay, last year, it was manifested in the result of the ano ganit dyan, the periodic test nga amo dyan and so on nga ang ibutangan mo data nga only 65% were able to get the ano ganit ang nakabuol kang imo nga lesson or topic, no? So it's alarming nga daw ra git may naka come up kang 75 or more, no? Okay, so includes enough literature that supports. Dapat may literature kita. Again, atong hambal ko kaina, as mentioned a while ago, na dapat may nakahanda rin kita nga literature so that ang literature ta kariya magamit natin to cite, no, another study to support the claim for the conduct of the study. Briefly introduces the proposed intervention to address the problem composed of 2 to 3 pages. Okay, so this is my example. This is my study. Sa tilad nga ano, okay, I will read it to you. Sa context and rationale, now, we will go over later, no? Lantawon ta kun atong ginhambal, mention ko a while ago, nakasilid tanan digya sa context and rationale. Because of pandemic, amo diyang akin nga introduction, our educational system in all schools globally had experienced change. We are compelled to shift our national classroom setup to face-to-face setup with our learners from our traditional competency to MILCs from our textbook to self-learning materials. So ginside ko rin nga bag-o ang atin tilad nga set up no kang atin education. So the absence of a classroom teacher is now turned over to the parents as the learner's facilitator, thus made a great role in the education of our learners amidst pandemic. During this pandemic, the DepEd have come up with a modular learning modality. This is the easiest and convenient distance learning modality that DepEd can offer to make sure that learning will continue. No learner will be left behind. It's hard to agree that modular is the answer, but we cannot deny the fact that face-to-face is still the most effective way of delivering good education. So ginana ko ang ano no, ang do somewhat nga do may problem rin gamay-gamay. So amat-amat rin na dayon na. Okay. In current school year, gin-mention ko rin yan na ang current school year. Into 20 sala daad dyan 2019 daad dyan no. Okay. Official and ang kwan gali ang enrollment. So i-cite mo dyan kung pila ka bilog ang enrollment ninyo. And since the school year started last October 5, as expected, there were a lot. So ginamat-amat mo rin introduce ang imo nga problem. No, na-notice ninyo a lot of adjustment on the part of learners and so with the parents and even the teachers. These young children cannot stand by their own if without the help of their teachers. The young children cannot stand by their own if without the help of their parents as their teacher facilitator. So, dyan address ko rin tayo ng problem. The complaints commonly heard from the parents is the attitude of the learners towards answering their module during distant learning. So, amat-amat rin. Moreover, as per observed by the researcher, ang panawag ka natin na hindi nga she or the teacher, kundi researcher ang atin nga i-address. Based on the modules retrieved, oftentimes the module is left unanswered. So, hindi common, no? Hindi lang na dyan, it's not only happening in grade 1. So, tanan kita may problem ang kadyan. This will be one of the contributing factors that could really affect their academic performance. So, dyan nakaroon daw ginamat-amat karoon ang akin problem. In mathematics, so may klurong kita nga ang akin problem is in the area of mathematics. In the last 2 years, based on the result of the non-numeracy, ginanwan ko ang ginbase ko ang aking problem sa result of the non-numeracy, no? Test given by the division, the result is not good. And in connection with this new normal setup, the researcher opted to conduct this research because the researcher believes that the problem exists before the pandemic will ultimately occur much amidst this new normal. So, ang problem ko, kay wala rin ako ti data nga i-present. So, ginano ko na lang ang problem ko last year, ultimately, tilad, maging problem pagid. No? Kay problem gani nga may face-to-face, ano pagid ayan kung modular lang. And this problem requires, dyan ginamention ko, urgent solution, action. And not only that the locus of this problem is also school-wide. No? So dapat ang ginbutang ko gali is district-wide, no? Kay hindi man lang kami ang nagaproblema ka dyan. So, sa rational natin, okay, given in order to address this problem, the researcher conducted a research about effectiveness. So, amo rin diyang akin nga problem. Nakita niyo ang flow, gin-present ko rin ang problem. So, amo rin dyan. Which is, ang problem ko kadya, nahimo ko rin dyan actually long before the pandemic. And religiously, gin-adapt ko this, kay I know fast forward, amo dyan ang magiging problem kang parents and not also parents, kita man ng mga teachers. Okay, now this is my topic or my title. Effectiveness of extrinsic reward. Ano kuno ka-effective ang extrinsic reward? Okay, now in the case of extrinsic reward, nakalako ang extrinsic reward. Pwede pas kang akin ribbon, no? Nag-cut ko kang ribbon every week. and ginatugro ko sa parents, maski kada lang agi nanda or ano, sige lang, at least may ribbon, no? So, aside from that, may mga in-kind nga mga rewards that is also part of the extrinsic reward, no? On learners' performance in solving word problems using self-learning modules. So amo rin dyan ang akin nga title na nakakam up ako. So ang akin intervention is ano, extrinsic reward. Amo dyan ang akin nga ano i-intervention para ang learners' performance kang learners in solving word problems using of course the SLM ma-address, masolusyonan, no? So, ang based on my on the video kay di na require not hindi maging required, no? But kung sino lang maka-access sa ano sa Messenger, I'm asking the cooperation of the parents na sendan nanda ako kang video. And of course, other grade 1 teachers are also doing this. Nga, maski 30 seconds lang, no? To update us, kami nga teachers, kung ano rin ang status kang bata, no? Mamanaan mo man akong gitudluan, especially in reading, no? Pero digyan nag-focus ako sa problem solving because according to Sir Dennis, no? Ang problem gali dapat natin nga ihimuon is dapat by the end nga ma-check ang atin research proposal amuron ri pag kung kumbaga dapat naka-coincide ang master teacher, please listen sa instruction kadya ni sir, no, kay naka-learn ako kana nga example naga nga problem solving word problems kay wala pa kami ti problem solving tulad sa grade 1, no? Amat-amat pa lang, no? So, gin-foresee ko nga by the time nga matapos dya or ma-check rin dya ang akin nga proposal, ang lesson namon is already on solving word problems. Gets ninyo, master teachers? So, para may continuity bala nga ginatawag after nga maano ron, ma-check rin and everything, ma-approve ron sa division, by the time ang lesson ko is solving word problems. So, automatic, magamit ko rin dyan ang akin research. Makandak ko rin ang research ko using this extrinsic reward. No? I hope nga ang master teacher na gets nanda. So, wala ko rin dyan na-explain kaninyo kay Doka late rin ka to, no, ma-confuse pa kamo. But next time, kung maghimo kita, kinanglan ihimuon natin nga kay hindi rin ta na maging effective kung ang imo nga problem is nag first grading, second grading rin nga tapos. So hindi rin ta na effective, no? Okay. Now, conducting this study is so fellow master teachers, man-anyo naman dyan, dapat mangita kita kang basahan ko na conducting this study is timely and relevant as it relates to attaining prescribed DepEd intermediate outcomes in the context of K-12 curriculum, which is to require learners to attain certain learning standard. Ang dyan halin sa conducting as sa standard, this is standard siya. Amo gidya dapat ang ibutang natin ang researcher, ha? Amo gidya dapat. And then, dapat mangita kita kang DepEd thrust that would support our problem. Okay. Now, in browsing the DepEd thrust, I have come up with this DMEA. Okay, ginbutang ko diga particularly this study is in tune of the school's division of Iloilo efforts in making ways to improve the numeracy skills. Remember, ang akong problem is about math. No? Okay. So, mangita ako kang DepEd thrust or program nga concerning math man. And this is the Division Monitoring, Evaluation, and Adjustment. Ano siya ang DMEA? Known as DMEA. Now, ang content ng DMEA or ang purpose or ang objective ng DMEA, it reports on high statistics of non-numerates in the division for the past school year. So, connected ta na, no? since math ang akin nga subject, it is connected, no? Nga kuno ang DMEA ang anang purpose is kinahanglan wara ron kita ti non-numerates. And para kanaken ang problem ko is ang pag-solve. Siyempre, di ba may solving word problem na dyan sa atin nga non-numeracy nga exam, no? Di ba may part dyan nga addition. Sa grade 1 naman ha, I don't know sa ibang nga grade, no? Sa grade 1 naman may A1, S1, and then sa dalam nakarea may problem solving. Sarama lang gani ka problem solving, no? But amo dya ang kwan kang DMEA, no? So in line mangyapon ang akin nga problem. Huh? Okay. So, in this study, the use of extrinsic reward, i-connect mo na yung tanan, no? The use of extrinsic reward as a researcher's intervention relates, nakarelate gid ang akin problem sa DMEA, nga ang aims kang DMEA is to help or provide support to the learner with the teacher-researcher being the provider of support until such time that the learners will become independent and ultimately can resolve simple word problems specifically in subtraction. So, tugma kita na, no? Okay. Ay, sorry. So, and then, part of the rationale is masite ikaw kang another study which was already proven, no? Ano ra conducted rin na. Okay, bali ano ran ang completed study rin tanan, no? Okay. Now, andiyan ginimo ko, nag-cite ako, nangita ako in line with extrinsic reward. Now, in the study of Cameron, may Cameron dyan nga study, para kana, it was proven that extrinsic motivation has been studied by several researchers over time. Many studies refer to work both established researchers in the field of motivation. Their research supports and extrinsic rewards as being beneficial in motivating students. So, hindi kita magbuol kang study nga it was not proven. Kay karon hindi natin ma-support nga ang extrinsic man nga atin nga pilion will be effective. So that's why ma-cite kita. Now, in citing another study, kinahanglan bulan gid natin. Don't forget gid fellow researchers, no? Especially master teachers. Hindi ta gid paglipatan nga bulan ang reference natin while going on ang atin nga paghimo kang study natin. Don't forget the reference para may balikan ikaw kay basi bala ano akan nga ni kara gina-screenshot ko ang including the link malakari kay para pag malipat ka i-search ko lang to, no? So ano. Okay, so amoron na, no? Okay. So, let's go to the next part, which is the research questions. Okay, ang research question begin with introductory statement or purpose or aim or objective for conducting the study. You may use purpose stating verbs, behavioral terms such as, amo diyang recommended ng mga terms to ang introductory statement. Example, this aims to ascertain. This intends to find out. Seeks to determine, the study research seeks to determine, the study research delves into, the study research focuses on. Okay, how to arrange research questions in the following logical order. Okay, ang lima ka dyan, no? Okay, first is the performance or behavior before the intervention. Okay, ipakita ko rin ang example kanina. Performance behavior after the intervention. Difference between before and after intervention. Relationship, if applicable. Plan of action. So, amo dya ang dapat makita sa research question. Okay, example. Amo dya ang, dya ni ma'am sa Gimbal National High School, dya nga, nga research. Ang ang anang research ano ganit dyan? Ang anang pagbalay, ang introductory na is this one. This action research aims to find out how effective is the use. Gamitan mo dahil na yung title. Kaya nga title is multi-sensory instruction, colon, its effect on the learner's reading performance. So gamitan mo na dayan na, okay, amo dyan pagbalay. How effective is the use of multi-sensory instruction as intervention in improving the reading performance of grade 7 learners of Gimbal Nationalized o belong, so etc. Mura niya. So mura magbalay ha. Sample of research questions before and after. Sa before and after intervention. Specifically, amo dya ang standard dya nga word nga ibalay mo. Specifically, the study seeks to answer the following question. Ang number 1 mo is ang before, amo dya ang magbalay. What is the level of reading performance of grade 7 learners based to kaina sa atin nga topic nga title kang taga high school kato kaina. What is the level of reading performance of grade 7 learners prior to their exposure to the multi-sensory-based instruction methods? Prior dyan sa anang intervention, amo dyan intervention na is multi-sensory-based instruction methods. Ano naman? After exposure, ano ang natabo after nga gintugro rin to ang intervention? Okay, so amo rin ang magbalay kang questions. Next, difference between before and after. Is there a significant difference in the level of reading performance of grade 7 learners prior to, before naging conduct intervention, and after their exposure to multi-sensory-based instruction methods? Okay, so, okay rin kita sa atin nga, I know may iban milingin ulo, pero sige lang, sa darayon makamaan kita. Next, the second part of the research is proposed innovation, intervention, and strategy. So, digya kariya tatlo ang makita natin, innovation, intervention, and strategy. Now, states and defines intervention with appropriate in-text citation. So, hindi ko rin pag-ibasahan. Ang makita lang natin kararigya is dapat may may cite naman, mangita naman kita kang literature, citing, halimbawa ko lang sa akin itong extrinsic rewards, mangita naman ako kang another study nga nagapatimaan nga ang extrinsic reward is really effective as motivation sa learners natin. Especially sa atin kada pandemic, kinanglan din man motivation sa kabataan. Okay. Action research method. Number 3 rin niya, ha? Okay. So, sa proposed intervention strategy, cite ka lang 3, and don't forget ang atin reference. Action research method. Ano ang makita natin sa action research method? Begins with an introductory paragraph stating and defining the research design to be used in the study using appropriate in-text citation. Okay, correlational research design, experimental research design. So, hindi gid ako gawa karadiga Participants and other sources of data clearly identifies and describes the participation of the study. So, amo diyang makita natin na encompassing label, number of breakdown, mga kanan dyan, mga data rin dyan, common sampling techniques used, probability sampling, hindi gid ako gawa ka dyan, knowledgeable sa amo ka dyan, ang mga probability sampling, gid complicated, So, at least i-present ko lang kaninyo nga may something nga amo dyan nga makita natin. Non-probability sampling. Ang purposive ka dyan is, okay, digya sa purposive sampling, ang ating nga respondents, purposely, gintuyo mo gid nga sandari ang klient ko. Example, sa 21 ko ka students, na-find out ko being 15, based sa akin abing numeracy test naging tugro, ang nakabuol kang less than 75% is 15 gid. So purposely sanda ang balaan ko. Kaya maging basihan ako, Okay. Sa intact sampling naman ta nakadya, those respondents nga gingamit kang researcher nga tanan gid Gusto ko tanan nga kabataan ko ang himuon ko nga respondents. So intact sampling ikaw. Na? Okay, so may etc. may lawig pag gila dyan iban nga mga ano, pero sige lang. Amo lang dyan as of now. Data gathering method states what type of data will be used. Okay, ano ang basihan natin? Kung ang ating research is quantitative research, then automatic ang gamitin natin amo diya ang pre-test kag post-test. Amo lang gid ang pinaka-list natin nga mabulaan natin kang data. Ang pagtugro kang pre-test. So again, magbalay kita kang atin nga problem, it should be researchable. Kabudlay ang qualitative nga ano is amura ang mga survey question bala nga hindi mo mabulaan kang data, no? Pero kung quantitative research, may basihan gid ikaw, may gituan ta na test, nga amo yung score na. So diya kita karama belong sa exam performance or test scores. Data gathering methods explains the research instrument. What kind of data gathering instrument ang gingamit? Explain. So diya kari okay, ipakita ko lang kaninyo karon no. Kung ano ron ang instrument na naging gamit mo, i-explain mo ri adigyan, no? Okay. Ethical issues. Ay, wala ako nakatugro kang sample. Sige lang, okay. So, sa ethical issues, amo diyang content na. What kind of harm or risk will participants be likely to be exposed to and how to mitigate them? How permission or assent will be secured? How orientation, debriefing of participants of the study will be conducted? Now, sa ethical issues, diyan medyo maselan dyan, no? Dako dyan nga, ano, i-cite ko lang ang akan nga example, again, the researcher, again, the researcher ang gamitin ta, hindi nga the teacher or she. The researcher will request approval from the school principal. May letter ako karang ginhimo nga gintugro kay ma'am sa principal to nga granting you to conduct the study and involve the learners. So may letter ako karang sample nga ipakita kung sino lang ang gusto maghimo later kang research abi no. Okay. Ang sasulod kang request approval is requesting the principal nga makonduct ikaw kang study. Before the researcher will conduct her research, consent will be asked from the parents of the participants. So, may letter, another letter man ang ipadara sa tanan nga parents. Ang kutob katong nga ginagamit mo as your respondents. Once approval is accomplished, the researcher will approach the parents of grade 1 Kamya learners through writing a letter informing them of her intention to conduct an action research. The letter will state the intentions, objectives, the specific details about the intervention and advantages to be derived from the study. So, digyan mo i-present sa nanay, parents, amo dyan ang akin, may study akong ikandak, amo dyan ang objective ko, dason ibutang mo rin dyan, ang kabataan, just like last year, no, kayo siyempre ang pan pa to, ang regular pa to, no, ginbutang in-state ko rin dyan, nga amo dyan nga oras, basi matingala ka mo, nga wala pa ka ang kabataan yung nakauli, kaya ang akin nga study, i-conduct ko after kang klase. So, these are the following students, nga learners abi nga subject for respondents sa akin nga study. No? So, i-cite mo ra dyan, no? Para maintindihan kang nanay, kasi matingala ang nanay nga, ay, wala pa kauli, no? Okay, so, i-cite mo ginarigyan, no? And in addition, the researcher will seek parental consent. May parental consent kita karanga ipapermahan or waiver, granting the researcher the permission to proceed with the study. Moreover, results of the study will be treated with confidentiality. Participants will be treated equally and with respect regarding of their diversity and cultural identity. However, the researcher will ask consent to the parents to take photographs and pictures for the documentation of the said study. And ang picture kara dapat hindi na ma-expose. Kay to preserve the confident the ano gani the image kang imo nga participants na. Furthermore, as an ethical consideration in conducting the study, snacks will be provided by the researcher to the participants. So akin kay hindi face to face, so ang ginahimo ko ang himuon ko pagkahimuon ko instead is ang participants as an incentive which will be sent to them through their parents. Ang every Friday tabla who come to submit and return the module every Friday. So medyo bag-o diyang ethical issues no kay ang aton nga ano is may pandemic kita. Likewise gindugangan ko protocols will be strictly observed during the conduct of the study, such as the wearing of face masks, face shields, social distancing, and alcohol or sanitizer, especially during the time when parents come to get their modules. So, pwede man or pwede pagid nga kung ako ang maadto sa respondents, amo man dya ang akin protocols, no? Na ihimuon. Okay. So, amo dya, discuss the process of protecting the rights, incentives for participation, dapat may amugid. Avoid plagiarism issues, amo tong mga bago nga dapat hindi pa expose ang mga ano kay hindi pag-abal nga uy ang bata mo kwan ko ha. Ang sarasa ano kay syempre ma-deprive ang andang ano bala. Discusses the process of protecting intellectual property rights, especially on the adoption of research instruments and so on. Na? Okay, next, plan for data analysis. Ano ang sulod kang plan of data analysis? Discuss how gathered data will be analyzed and interpreted. Diyan na ang interpretation, specifying what descriptive and inferential statistical tools will be employed. Justifies choice of statistical tools to be used by providing literature support with appropriate in-text. Okay, ano diyang namin nakadya? Okay, dali lang gina. Okay, so ano namin nakadya? Kung may statistical tools ikaw nga gingamit, i-cite mo gidri to avoid plagiarism. Example, the researcher will use t-test. No? Aware man ka ano man na ang familiar kita ka mga t-test, mga ano pa gid diyan mean, ikwan gid pangitaan gid kang meaning, and at the same time maghambal kita nga site may ginbulaan kita kariya, di ba? So bulan tagid ang reference katong ginbulaan natin. Some commonly used statistical tools, amo diyang mga descriptive statistics na mga standard deviation, percentage of percentile rank, frequency count, na hindi rin yan new kaninyo, no? Okay, inferential statistics, amo diyang kung parametric imo nga test, t-test gamitan mo, independent sample t-test. Kung non-parametric, Wilcoxon, sign, rank t-test, Man-Whitney U-test, no? Okay, so kung non-parametric siguro ng ano more on qualitative ang imo nga test kay wala ikaw ti parametric test na gamitan. Pero kung quantitative ang imo nga test, parametric may t-test ikaw, na? Okay. Example, okay, akin ha. Data analysis plan. The data gathered will be subject to certain statistical analysis. So na-notice nyo ang mean. Okay, gin pangitaan ko kang definition what is mean, no? It will be used amo diyang gamitin ko mean effective motivation towards learners attitudes in answering. Oh no, lain ang akin ano intervention. Okay, so standard deviation and nakita nyo rigya may gin-cite ako nga author. According to Peers 2018, mean kuno is the average of numbers, which is isite mo man nga mean man ang akin gamitin. Okay. Digya standard deviation according to Barrot 2017, ginbagal ko dya kay Barrot nga ang standard deviation kuno will be used to determine the dispersion of the scores about the mean. So si standard deviation gamitin ko man ria sa akon nga data analysis. Okay, according to Barrett 2017, si Wilcoxon signed rank, gamitin ko man as non-parametric na. So, isite mo rin yan. Okay, so hindi kita mag-ano kananaan ko galingin ulon nyo. Action, work plan, and timeline contains the research timelines when will the study begin and how long will it take. Okay, so dyan ang sample. Okay, ang atin nga intro is amo gida always. when making action research work plan and timelines. To achieve the research works objectives, the researcher will religiously follow activities, timeline, and duration of these presented in table 1 below. Okay. Now, ang naga nga January 15, ang master teacher naga nga nag January 15 ang start kang tuwanta ka mo kanya sample no kang tung paghimo ninyo kang research no. Naga January 15 because January 15 ang memo was sent to us dated January 15. So pag send kang memo, diyan na start ang timeline mo. Okay, ang mga 6 days kadya 3 days ang duration kadya is it's up to you kung pila ka days no. Kang pag-explain ni Sir Dennis kadya nga paghimo na natin. Diyan ko lang ganin naman nga depende gali kanimo kung pila ka days ang duration nga ibutang mo. So amo dya ang content tanan ha. Amo dya ang content. So matapos gali natin ang atin nga research on June 23. So, I don't know kung may klase pa rin, ano? Okay. So, ang akin nga conduct of post-test, okay, planning and preparation of research made instrument, kung religiously sundon mo dyan, ti nami, no? Okay, submission, checking and editing of action research proposal, revision of finalization, submission, retrieving. Okay, ang retrieve of approved results from the division, gintuguan ni sir kang 2 days no nga ma-retrieve natin. Dasan amo rin dyan ang orientation of respondents. Diyan mo rin man pisahan ang i-orient mo rin ang parents. Dasan dyan makandak rin dayon kang So, na-notice March, April. So, ibig sabihin, ang akin nga problem solving will fall on April. Intervention period. Diyan conduct of post-test. Diyan rin So, ginkuan ko, balay-balay ko nga, ang problem solving, kadya, makaano rin dyan, makalabot dyan sa amo kadyang time sa April, no? Okay, and so on and so forth. So, total is 75 days. In the process of making to really finish okay. Kuan lang dyan ha, matapos mo dyan, ibig sabihin nakandak mo ron. But, after that, pagkandak mo, may another man. To complete your research, may another man riya dyan nga himuon natin, nga may mga steps naman riya dyan, not the same steps sa paghimo kang research proposal. May another steps naman dyan to finish. Amuro na dayon ang finished and conducted research. No? So far, sa Gimbal, District of Gimbal Elementary, daw ra pagit may naka-finish, no? Ra pagit may naka-conduct lang, but wara tanan na natapos. No? Okay, so sige lang. Mag-expert kita ka dyan, may saragid dyan nga maka-finish na. Okay, cost and estimates. Ano makita natin sa cost and estimates? Diyan natin makita ang mga pinanggamit natin. And take note ha, hindi dyan refunded ha. Lang natin, ginbutang lang natin ang pira ka ink ang nagasto natin sa pag-type kay sa talad siguro ura kita ink kay hindi hard copy ang ginpasa natin, it's online no. So dapat ura lang gali jang ink no. Okay. But kung magpasa kita kang it should be short bond paper. And ang internet natin i-consider taman ang food nga gin incentives natin sa participants natin, ang travel natin nga pag-agto natin from Gimbal to division just like last year nga ba Diyos ko Gimbal to paano kay last year gin may innovation naman nga ang mga na lang sa ni Sir Dennis na lang maagto rito sa para ang teacher hindi man ma-spare ang anang klase no and so on and so forth. So amo dyan mga expenses ha, hindi dyan refunded ha. gin present lang ang expenses. Of course, may expenses di man kita spend, no? Plans for dissemination and utilization. Okay. Now, once you have conducted your research, it does not end there. Dapat i-disseminate natin. How? Paano? Just like inset. Aton nga inset nga ginahimo, no? Okay. How will the findings of the study be utilized? Paano natin gamitin to? Hindi na lang pag na-approve ron, amo na lang to. Dapat i-share sa ibang teachers, no? Nga base nga ang imo katong conduct na research would also be effective, no? Sa teacher. But ang akin research, no, is also applicable to all grade levels. Kay, of course, may solving problem man sa grade 2 to grade 6, no? So, it's not limited only sa grade 1. How will the findings of the study be disseminated? What type and venue, platform, or dissemination and utilization should be used? Who are the target audience or recipients? Okay, so amo rin siya ang akin sample. The completed study may be disseminated to other teachers of Gimbal Central Elementary School through LAC session, Slack. Magambal gani nga Slack, it involves the whole school. Magambal gani nga LAC, it involves dyan lang sa grade ninyo, no? Session on the second week of May 2020. Okay, sample lang dyan ha. The researcher hopes that the conduct and results of the study could be of great help to other teachers who might be experiencing the same problem during this pandemic. With the effective dissemination and utilization of the result, it has the potential to help learners' performance in solving word problem using self-learning modules. Okay, now, ang reference. Dapat ang reference natin is APA. Sorry, gira nalipat ako kung meaning kang APA. But amo siya ang suggested nga style of making a reference, no? Okay, single space reference entries, double space in between references. Okay, ipakita ko kaninyo kung paano. Okay, so amo siya ang akin nga study, na? Okay, nakita niyo siya, ang kag dapat single space ya. Garing kay na-highlight siya, so daw, ang na daw double, no? But single space siya, ha? Okay. From here to another, ang reference or reference, okay? Double space siya. And, ang digya sa second line should be tab space. Itumuot nila ang tab, automatic digyari no? And if ever nga may next pagidigya, tab lang ikaw. Basta ang ano panawag kari indent. Okay. Thank you, good sir. If there are many, okay, note, if there are many authors, write et al. Et dot al dot. Huh? Okay, just like this kay Cameron. So, hindi lang si Cameron ang author. There are many of them. And if there is no date, just write n.d. It means no date. Kaya may jankis ang yawan. Ikaw, no? So, datan na, so far may mga date, no? And this one, initial lang kang tao. Initial lang kang, ganit siya? Kang author, no? Okay. No, this is not first name ang apelyido una. That's an initial. Like for example, si Balios CG. Okay. How to start making a research? This one, bond paper ha. This is a representation of bond paper. Ang tanan natin nga bond paper, dapat 1.5 na rigya ang sa left, naga ang 1.5 for us nga kung ibuta, kung fastener natin, may space pa. And then from here to start kang imo is 1. 1. Okay? Ang atin bond paper is short, Arial font style. Font size is 11. And amo ron diyang 1.5 5 by 1 by 1 by 1. Okay. Next, paginate your proposal using Hindu-Arabic numerals on the upper right corner of the page. Note, the page number will start on the rational but reflected as page 2. Ang atin nga page 1 is Rigya. Ganun to ang kaina to ba lang dali lang ha. Okay, time out. Ang page 1 ta mo dyan. Pero hindi ta pagbutangan kang page 1. Hindi. Automatic na lang nga pag-abot sa 1, turon dayon. Okay. Pag-abot natin diga sa context and national turon dayon. Okay? Okay, justified. Justified ang dya, kagya. And double space. Double space. And from here to here, 3 single spaces. Ha? So ang akin nga ano kaninyo nga ano gani ang kwan is dito kamo mangita sa paragraph, may makita kamo diyan nga paragraph diyan sa upper portion kang inyong laptop. May ano na diyan, i-open nyo ang paragraph diyan nyo ra makita, no? Kung paano nyo diyan himuon ang 3 ka diyan, 3 spaces lang ra diya ha. Okay. Double space ang between kang amo ka diyan. Okay. And diyan dapat naka-bold. Naka-bold. Bold headings and subheadings, diyan subheadings. In uppercase and lowercase. Hindi all caps ha, upper and lower combination. And 3 single spaces before the headings and subheadings. Okay, digya ha. Okay, urat mga underline, etc. Urat na. Okay, formatting your action research proposal. Use present tense or simple future tense. This study aims to the intervention may be implemented. Simple future tense. Use third person point of view, the researcher. Okay, thank you very much. I would like to share this verse, Philippians 2 verse 9, chapter 2 verse 9 to 11. Therefore God exalted him. Sino ra si him? Si Jesus to the highest place and gave him the name that is above every name. So ang pinaka-above name of every name is Jesus. Verse 10, that at the name of Jesus every knee should bow in heaven, ang tanan nga in heaven and in earth, under the earth pagid shall bow down to Jesus. So ibig sabihin ang virus is Jesus is above that virus. So kung sino man kaninyo digyan ang may mga inaandana nga masakit, let's ponder this verse nga si Jesus is above your sakit. Kung ano man dyan ang sakit nyo tulad. Every tongue acknowledge that Jesus Christ is Lord to the glory of God the Father. So, tanan kita, only Jesus, si Jesus lang gid ang atin ni acknowledge. So, thank you very much and God bless. My first
Before we end for this morning activities, we will watch first the video presentation prepared by SPED and Kinder teachers.
Sa balay eskwelahan, kita mag-aalam sa punduksan natin, ginikanan. Nagatuon, mag-isip, magpasa, mag-drawing, magsaot, pagkakanta. Amon balay, amon eskwelahan, kadamot sang bagay, pwede matunay. Kaupot lamang ng buto sa pamilya. buksan atong ginikanan. Nagatuon, mag-isip, magpasa, mag-drawing, magsuot, kagkanta. Among balay, among eskwela, kadamot sang bagay, pwede matunay. Uupot namon ng butos na pamilya, sa patuon kasi nandiyan.
Okay. We are all wrapped up for today's learnings and ideas. Surely we do all have a wonderful day today. We will continue our mid-year in-service training at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Bon appetit.